welcome to Sunday School. Today our lesson will be on David and Goliath, and we're going to start by reading from the Beginner's Bible. It has a really nice story on David and Goliath, so let's get to reading. So if you have this Bible at home, it's on page 173, and it's based off of the scripture from 1 Samuel chapter 17 verses 1 to 51. So let's start. The Philistines were enemies of God. Their army came to fight King Saul's army. A giant soldier named Goliath yelled, "Bring out your best soldier to fight me." "If your strongest soldier defeats me, we will be your slaves," he boomed. "If I defeat him, you will be our slaves." King Saul's soldiers were afraid. They did not want to fight the giant. Meanwhile, young David was taking food to his brothers. They were soldiers in King Saul's army. When David reached the camp, he saw Goliath. David heard the giant's challenges. "I am not afraid to fight the giant," said David. King Saul called for David and told him, "You cannot fight the giant. You're too young." David replied, "God will be with me." King Saul gave his armor to David, but it was big and heavy. David wasn't used to wearing armor. David went to a nearby stream and picked up 5 stones. He stood before Goliath. The giant laughed at him, but David didn't care. He said, "I come before you in the name of the Lord, who rules over all." David put a stone in his sling and ran toward the giant. Then he let the stone fly. It hit Goliath's forehead and he fell to the ground. The Philistines saw their hero was dead and they ran away. The end. Okay, so let's do a little recap on what we just read. So basically, Goliath was trying to challenge King Saul's army, and he was trying to bully them, and they were all afraid because Goliath is so huge. Who isn't afraid of a really big person, right? Well, David, even though David was super small compared to Goliath, he decided that he was going to stand up for all of them and take on this challenge. And you know what he said that was key? He said that the Lord was going to be with him. And that's what we have to always remember in all of our life and day-to-day challenges, that the Lord is always with us. Even when we think that we can't do it, God will make a way for us. Just like he made a way for David to defeat Goliath with just one single slingshot. And that's why in today's craft, we are going to be making a slingshot. Okay, let's get started. So here's what I used to make my slingshot. I went in my backyard and I found 2 twigs. You can ask your parents to help you and find ones that aren't pointy, or if you don't feel comfortable with this, you can use popsicle sticks or anything that has this sturdiness and this shape. And you can use 2 rubber bands, 2 hair ties, anything that you can find that have stretchiness and can tie the twigs together. Okay, so let's start by taking the 2 twigs and kind of making a small X at the bottom and turning them into the shape of a letter V. And right where that little point where they cross, we're gonna take either the hair tie or the rubber band and we're gonna tie them together. Okay, and now they should look like this after tying them together. And pretty sturdy. And now we're gonna take our either hair tie or rubber band, and we are going to put the 2 twigs in between them. And that is when we pull one side to the other to join it. And there you go, there's our slingshot. So here comes the fun part. We're going to test out our slingshot. So we're gonna start by taking a piece of paper and crumpling it into a ball. And we're gonna use this as our stone, like how David used a stone for his slingshot. Okay, so now we've got it into a little ball shape and we're going to test it out. We're going to put our ball into our little slingshot, and there you go. And that is the end of our lesson today on David and Goliath. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you all soon, and have fun with your slingshots and be very safe. Bye everybody, have a blessed week.